So Leah, you're in the, you know, we've already gone through some stuff in our first couple of meetings, and you know, we figured out a little of what's going on, and I've told you a little about what DBT is. You went to your first skills group, and now I just thought we should sort of make it a little clearer, like what you're signing on for. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I know you're not totally thinking you came to sign on, but you know, you've agreed you're going to be here. So
I like definitely, yeah, sure. I agreed. I don't really have a choice.
All right. Well, I'm hoping later you'll feel like actually you did, because you really do have a choice. It's just that the consequences don't look good to you.
Yeah.
Like you could say, I'm walking out now, but...
Yeah, I could, and then my mom would freak out. So,
yeah,
no, I don't have a choice.
No, you've already made that decision. I get it. So now I just want to shape it up a little bit more. Like, I want you to be clear that what you're signing on for is to see me and to be in the skills group from now, you know, mid-July, until the holidays, the vacation that comes in December at the end of the year. 6 months. 6 months that you'll come here.
6 months.
We'll have a little break during August, because I'm away during part of August, and I don't know whether you go away, but...
No, I don't do anything.
No, you don't do anything. So, you know, other than the August break, it'd be most weeks for 6 months. Okay? Does that sound pretty bad?
Yeah.
I know.
That's a long time.
Yeah, well, you're in the position that you didn't want to be here in the first place. I'm in the position of having some idea of what it takes to actually help you if you wanted to be helped. So we're coming from different places. So I understand that sounds pretty long, pretty weird. And, but I want you to understand that's what this is about. Because otherwise we don't spend enough time to actually make the differences that this kind of therapy can make. And it can make differences. It really has helped people with their lives, even people who didn't think it was going to help.
I don't really think I'm helpable.
You don't think you're helpable. I'm hoping it'll even help that, but I realize that makes it even more hopeless to think, you know, that you're in that position. And I want to learn all about why you're in that position, because you really seem like a person who has a lot going for you, but right now it sounds like you have more going against you. So how about it? How about at least understanding, if not, I don't think I'm waiting for you to agree with like your greatest spirit with all of your heart. I'm just asking you to agree that this is what you know you're getting into, and that we're going to do this, and that it may seem long right now, and I'm hoping later it'll seem different.
Yeah.
You'll agree to do this?
Sure.
Again, with not feeling you have a lot of choice.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But now, so there's just one more part of this, one more thing to agree to now. And then...
I just agreed to 6 months.
I know.
Are you
that
serious?
seems like a lot.
Yeah.
And I know that.
I'm here.
Yeah.
The school therapist said I need to be here. I'm here. Mom said I need to be here. I'm here. I'm doing what everybody wants. Can we just... Is that okay? Like, why is that not enough?
Here's the thing, I'm really torn about this, Leah, because on the one, because I get that. I'm smart enough to know that you actually didn't want to come here. Now you're here. It's already your third time here.
Mm-hmm. They didn't tell me it was
Against
going to
your
be 6
will.
months.
What?
They did not tell me it was going to be 6
No,
months.
well, they might not even have known that. They don't know this treatment like I know this treatment. And now I'm saying to you, I'm asking another thing, which is the 6 months. You've agreed to that, and now I'm saying there's another thing to agree to.
Yeah.
So, of course, I mean, but you have to know what you're agreeing to and what I'm asking of you, or else we're just going to sit here and wait until you recover from the last agreement. You know?
Fine.
Okay, so hang in there. Because this one's harder than that one. Oh, you can't believe that. It is. This one's harder. And there's a good reason for it, and you're going to get help with it. But this is a hard thing. I'm going to ask you also because at the center of some of what's happened is that your only way out seems to be to cut yourself every day. And cutting yourself every day actually continues the problem. And it doesn't just continue the cutting, it continues the whole problem, actually.
No, it
We
actually
understand
helps
this.
it. No, it actually helps.
It helps it but at that moment, but it's there again the next day. Or
Well,
you wouldn't be doing it again.
it's the only thing that helps.
I know.
And don't...
But it helps short term. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I still feel like crap.
I know you do. I want you to feel less like crap, and I want you to feel like there's other things to do besides cutting yourself, because cutting yourself is, in the long run, is not good for you. We could go into details about it, but
I know.
I don't mean that in a wellness or healthy way. I mean it's not good for you in that it leads people more likely to want to kill themselves later, and it leads people to continue to be in terrible moods and to think badly of themselves. And I don't want that of you, and I don't want you to solve your life problems by damaging your own body. It's just like it goes directly against caring for yourself.
Well,
and I want you to learn to care for yourself.
It's not worth it.
So here's what I want to ask of you about the cutting.
Mm.
I want to have you agree that while we're seeing each other between now and the middle of December, 6 months, that you're not going to cut yourself at all beginning today. Like you're giving it up.
Charlie,
I'm
like,
done.
that's
I'm
enough.
going cold turkey.
No.
No more cutting.
No.
Come on. Why
No.
not?
Because if I could do that, I would. I can't. It's the only thing that makes me feel better.
If you could do that,
For
you would.
6 months? No way. No way.
Are you saying I'm against giving it up, or I'm against telling you that I can do this for 6 months because I can't?
give it up. I can't give it up. I can't not cut for 6 months.
Okay. You're saying you can't.
No, I can't.
Okay. So I need to hear a little, maybe this will help me to hear what is it about cutting that makes it such a good thing for you. Can you give me a little more detail?
It's the only thing.
I gotta understand this.
You probably think it's stupid, but it's the only thing that helps me.
I don't think this is stupid. Leah, I'm not going to think anything you're saying is stupid, definitely, but this is not stupid. It's the only thing that works. Then that's a big deal. Then of course you do it. Yeah. But also, it's the only thing that works for something that is very hard to go through, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't be saying it.
Right. Life pretty much sucks, so...
It's the one thing, I'll just draw it this way. Can you look up the, yeah, your chair is in. So, let's say something happens to you, it's the end of the school day, you go home, and these are negative feelings, and they're building up, and there's pressure, and there's tension, and there's negative feelings, and it's building up, and it gets to a certain point where it's really hard to take it. Does it work that way with you?
Yeah.
Something like that? I'm not saying this is perfect, Kurt, but... And then somewhere up here, you've learned some time ago that if you cut yourself, that it's going to bring some of the negative feelings down. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why you do it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't cut yourself, what do you think would happen? Let's say
it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse.
You mean you think it'd keep going like this?
Yeah.
Do you know that it would? Do you ever, like, at that point say, you know what, I'm not going to cut myself, let me see what happens?
Yeah, sometimes I'll smoke instead and see if it gets better.
Does that help?
Sometimes. Not much. A little bit.
It doesn't help as...
I still cut it, but it, like, if it's too early, like, if Mom and Gnomes are around, like,
yeah.
I like, know they're going to come check on me, like, I won't cut then, so I'll, like, smoke out, outside the window. And...
but some people will say, like, smoking will kind of take the edge off it, but cutting actually brings it down. Yeah. Is that more what it is for you? Yeah,
it's kind of like, just kind of holds me over till I can cut.
Cutting, right, got it. Because cutting really, that's the problem with this, it really works. So, okay, so this is why you cut yourself. Is there any other reason why? Are you pleased to cut yourself? Do you feel somehow better about yourself?
No.
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 Do you? When you cut yourself, do you feel like then people realize how bad you're feeling?
No, I don't want anybody to know that I do this.
And they don't know. you're cutting, nobody knows that you've cut yourself.
Well, did you tell anybody?
No, I'm not going to tell anybody.
Well,
this is your business.
No, I don't want anyone to know my business.
I'm not telling anybody. I'm not telling your mom. I'm not telling anybody else unless you're in a position where I think that your life's in danger.
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
But this doesn't sound like it's about that. It isn't about you trying to kill yourself. Even things can happen, but that's not what it is about.
No, my life sucks, but I'm not going to kill myself.
Okay. So, all right, so it's not about these other things. It's mainly about cutting down on your negative feelings, dropping negative feelings. All right, it works. Mm-hmm. All right. And so is there any reason you would want to not cut? I mean, is there anything on the other side of the equation?
And I feel like I can't. It's harder to hide them.
Harder to hide them. So it's summertime and you keep your arms covered because of this?
A lot of the times.
Yeah.
I am with you because I know that.
Yeah, because I know it. I know it's there, and I appreciate, again, it's part of a style you have of being pretty upfront, though I realize you keep all of this private from other people.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about it.
Okay. So one downside of cutting is that you've got these scars to hide, and therefore I think you must feel a little embarrassed about them or something, right?
Yeah, I don't want people to think I'm a freak.
A freak. So do you think you're a freak because you cut yourself? So is that a downside, would you say? I think you're a freak. You don't want other people to see it. You got the scars at the summertime, you know, and then you also, I guess, inherent in all of this is that you wouldn't even be here right now if you weren't cutting. Probably. Because...
Well, it's just because of my school therapist freaked out.
Your school therapist did freak out. I don't know. But then what she learned was that, you know, you had been cutting yourself and you also carved a name into your arm.
Yes.
That was probably embarrassing too, right?
That's so stupid.
Oh, I'm sorry you ended up doing that and feeling terrible about it.
Yeah.
You know, so, all right, there's pluses and minuses about cutting. You're being very upfront about that. I appreciate that. And I want to ask you, though, because the only way this gets better, and we just know this from doing this with hundreds, maybe thousands of people who've been through this, teenagers, is that you don't get this better by just talking about it. You don't get this better by just deciding, well, I'm going to cut, but I cut a little less. The thing that gets people better is when they decide I'm going to stop. It's like they put a stop on it. It's done.
I would do that if
and then you have to cope with the pressure.
Yeah.
And then we give you ways to cope with the pressure. That's the way the treatment works. Does that make sense to you? Mm-hmm. It's sort of like...
So you're going to make all the hard stuff go away? Like, no. You can't, like, change what my high school is like, and you can't change the people who are there, and you can't change my parents. Like,
no, but here, look. First, what I want to do, like, if this is how it goes when you cut, I would like it to at least go more like this when you don't cut. Like, there's a few things to do here other than cutting. They're going to get down, and the better you get it down, the better. And meanwhile, I want us to work on what is making you so miserable. I don't want to get into that right now, but there's two parts to this therapy. One is, how can we help your whole, you know, feeling about your life, which gets you to do this? And also, but, you know, immediately, how can we get you going down here without cutting? And we're going to give you the skills to do that, you know, between the skills group and me. The skills group alone doesn't do it, but skills group plus me, because I'm going to coach you. I'm your therapist and your coach. I'm several people. Got it? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm your therapist. I'm your coach, and now and then, I'm going to fill in for your mother and give you good advice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She needs it.
Yes. So that's the idea, and you'll even be able to call me on the phone when things are getting bad, and ask me, Charlie, what am I gonna do?
Those kind of things.
And I'll try to help you think of other things to do. Ultimately, I have to tell you, I have to admit this and just state the obvious. it is totally up to you whether you cut or not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a controller of yours. I'm a therapist. Notice I'm a coach. I'm this, but I'm not your boss.
Well, what do you do if I cut? If I can't not cut?
If you did cut after agreeing that you're not going to, then you come in here and we figure out what led to that. Why did you have to cut? Because we'll probably learn a lot from that about the pressure you're under. No, I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm just going to want us to figure it out and get back on the agreement.
Because I hate, like, I'm kind of like you. I don't want to, like, lie to you and tell you I can do it, and then I can't do it, and then I have to come in and tell you I can't.
Well, good. I like you too. I think we'll be a good team together, but we're fighting a big enemy. The part of you that wants to cut is there for good reason. It's there for good reason. It's built up the past year. You know, your parents broke up. I've heard a little from you about that. You've had a bad experience with a boy. That didn't work out, and you're kind of alone. So we're going to work on those things. But yes, I'd like you to not cut. So what I want to ask you to do is to not cut all the way until December. So we've got an open slate to work on these other things. How about that?
December.
Here we are again, December. So I want to know now, having talked a little more, can you imagine doing that? Can you get your mind around that?
I can't even think about doing it tonight. I cut every day. How am I not going to cut till December? It's July. There's no way I can do that. I wish I could tell you I could, but I hate to give up on that, but you look, so you cannot cut for 24 hours, right? What if you multiply 24 times whatever half a year is, 180 days. So you just have to multiply by 180. I don't have to just not cut for 6 months. That makes it sound really easy, and I'm telling you it's not.
I know it's not. I know it's not. I'm trying to get you to get your, I'm not going to tell you you have to do something you can't do. No. But I want to get your mind, I want you to get your mind around the furthest out you can get. So let me ask you this. You have not cut for 24 hours at a time.
Okay, sure.
What about 48? Like, what if you give up a night of cutting? That would make it.
I haven't done that in a long time.
Could you do that? If you decided, all right, I'm going to do that. I could do that. I'll just tough it out. Even without any other suggestions. But I can give you suggestions. I'll be there on the telephone as a coach, but also I'll be there at the end of this session. I'm going to make some suggestions about how you ride through those periods. And they're going to come up in skills group too, but I think you need them right away to make this agreement. So 48 hours.
Okay.
You're on. Now look, I want more than that, and not because I'm just voracious and want as much as possible, but I want you to stretch out as far as you can, like set your sights out there. So, oh God, what would I want? I'd want you to brace yourself, but a week. I'd like you to go a week, like until we meet next week. I'd like you to commit. I'm not going to do it. And during that week, I am going to do everything I can to figure out how to cope with this without cutting. I guarantee you can get there, but you have to have a will, and I have to be involved, coaching you and really supporting you. And if there are any other people to get involved supporting you, I just can't think of it right now. No. Well, we'll do it just with me, if possible. I just experienced that you in your life are much more alone than I wish you were. But that's just a fact, I guess. So what about that? What about agreeing with me? When you walk out this door, which is after you've heard some suggestions, you're going to not cut yourself for a week, and you're going to come in and you're going to say, Charlie, I did it. I'm sorry. Just a minute, my phone, I didn't turn it off. You like my ringtone? No.
Is that someone asking you for help?
What?
Is that someone's asking you for help?
It wasn't, but that's how I know, by the way. When you call me, it's going to be this phone, and I'm going to look and I'm going to see your initials. And then I'm going to know it's you. And we'll go over how I do that. But then I'm going to get on the phone with you and coach you and listen to what's going on. Okay? So 1 week. All right? Yes. Yes, she's going to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, she's going to do it. 1 week. Yes. Please, hang in there. Tough it out. Go with me on this one. It'll pay off in the long run.
Okay.
All right. Oh, you're so good. Okay. But you're not going to like me when I say the next thing. No, don't look at me that way. You're not going to like this.
There's more?
Because we gotta arrive at whatever you think is the furthest. This is like an auction, you know. Like, how far can you go on this? I would like you to agree to 1 month. 1 month. I'll tell you why. If you come in here next week after 1 week and you're thinking, oh, I did it for a week, but right after this session I can go cut myself.
I'm not thinking that now.
Then we're not going to, well, you're not thinking that now, but you haven't gone through a week of thinking, oh, I wish I could cut, I wish I could cut. That bastard Charlie made me not cut.
I want to keep my word to you. I said 1 week.
I like that. I want to keep my word. I want us to find a level where you can keep your word to me, and I can feel like we're really going out. I'll just say the problem with 1 week is that if you feel like you can then do it right afterwards, and it's kind of like all the work we do, and then we review it next week.
All right.
So I need you to go beyond that.
All right, I get it.
A month? A month. What is the difference between saying a month or a month? I want you to say a month. Like definitive. Like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. I'm going to support you in this. Your skills group's going to teach you skills. But they aren't going to work immediately. But you and I are going to try to make them work. And I'm going to give you other suggestions. You'll do it? You'll do a month. All right. Now wait. Are you just saying this to get me off your back?
No.
Be honest.
No.
Just to say, I'm done with the pressure.
No. I told you I am honest.
You are honest. I like that.
And, well, I'm being honest to you.
Right.
So, if you're
being honest, and I'm being honest with you. I'm not guaranteeing that it's definitely not easy. In fact, what I want to say is, now that you've agreed to a month, which you've agreed to, by the way, shake hands on that one. It's a 1 month, okay? We've made it a 1 month agreement. Now, the point is that I want you to realize, I don't want either of us to pretend it's going to be easier than it is, right? It's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
Why would you agree to such a hard thing? Why? Just because I'm nice?
Because I hate feeling like this all the time.
Okay,
and
that's a good answer.
If you are telling me,
that's a good answer. I like that. That is a good answer. We're going to have to remember that. Because you're going to forget that sometimes. You're going to get into an evening and say, that bastard Charlie made me do this, and I'm feeling so terrible. He has no idea, blah, blah, blah. You know, so it's going to be tough. You're going to have to, at that moment, say, what am I going to do? And you're going to have something to do.
Yeah.
And you're, you know, some of those times you're going to call me and say, here's what's happening. What should I do? And we're going to go over stuff. Try to give you something to do. Okay? All right. Okay, good. Now we'll be able to move on to other things now and me get to know you better. All right?